Welcome back. Today I'm going to be hopefully teaching how to checkmate with a queen versus an opponent who still has a minor piece on the board. I will be playing against Stockfish, and hopefully I can succeed. As it says in my book here, that we should treat this the same way that we treat a king versus king and queen, or queen versus king checkmate, with the one difference. You must be careful about stepping onto the colored squares controlled by that bishop. Okay, now I know how to do this with just the queen, and here I'm playing with the black pieces. I know that we want to be cognizant of the files and ranks cut off by our queen and trap the enemy king on the edge of the board. We already know that we cannot checkmate the king in the middle of the board, so we have to trap it on the edge, and we'll do that by drawing this box smaller and smaller. We also know that the queen can't do it by herself, that we will need our king to help. Okay, now our king is safe because this is a dark squared bishop that the opponent has, so it can never check us no matter where it moves. We just want to be careful that we don't run into some sort of discovered attack on our queen and so on. So I am going to start by drawing a box, let's say here. This draws a box this way that the enemy king cannot get out of. Okay, now we're going to bring our king, and we're going to stay on the light squares as much as possible. And remember, whenever the enemy king moves and we have a chance, we're going to draw this box even smaller. Now I thought about going here, but I just realized I could probably sneak around behind its bishop. So I'm going to go here, and yes, it is a dark square, but the bishop can't immediately attack me. This is also a check, and we've drawn this box smaller here. Now they can attack the queen this way. So I'm not sure about that. But you know what? I'm about to move the queen on my next turn anyway. So I'm going to move my king right here to set up opposition between the two kings. This will prevent the enemy king from coming toward us in any way. Not that it could come here anyway. So I plan to go here. I expect that the bishop will try to attack our queen, which is fine because we're going to move our queen here where it will be protected by our king and draw the box even smaller around the opponent. So that's my plan. I did not expect that. It's preparing an escape route because the bishop effectively cuts off the rest of the force field that I'm drawing. Okay, so not bad. However, let's see if we can't draw the box smaller anyway. For example, here. And if the enemy king does try to slide out, no, that's not a good idea. What if we do this? I like that idea. What if we draw... Our king is still preventing the enemy king from moving to these squares. And so moving our queen here will effectively put a new box around that king. I don't think it'll be a stalemate. It won't be a stalemate. The bishop won't be able to move at that point. It'll be pinned to the king, but the king will still be able to move. So let's try that. The king will have to move down. And now we can bring our king here, still keeping it on the light squares. And that will also guard this spot if we want to bring our queen closer. The only problem with this is that it allows the king out of the box. However, in that case, we take the bishop. So let's see what happens. I had believed that the king was going to move behind the bishop, but that wouldn't matter because we control that square now. Okay, now we have the bishop out of the box, so maybe we can draw the box smaller in some way. And again, we want to try to keep our king off the dark squares because so that bishop won't be able to see us. I am thinking of putting our queen over here and maybe bringing the box this way. I'm just trying to watch out for the bishop. I've never done this before. See what happens. Are they going to bring the bishop back? Surely not. Okay. Oh, then maybe they guessed what I was trying to do, or preventing my king from moving here. That's okay. I'm going to bring my queen right there, and that forces the king either into this very small box over here or into a smaller box on this side. Okay, it chose the small box over there, perhaps thinking that the bishop will control some of these squares. And maybe they're right, and let's see what happens. Sorry about that. Well, I can trap the king on the back rank here. Let's do that. Because that was our goal the whole time. One of our goals was to trap the king on the edge of the board. And now we have to bring our king to help us checkmate, but without the bishop interfering. That's going to be difficult, and we also have to avoid stalemate. So we might have to zigzag around this way to avoid the dark squares. We want to stay off these squares controlled by that bishop. So I think we're going to have to go this way to get our king over there and then checkmate, something like there, I think. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's not bad. It's preparing an escape route here. But that's okay. That's okay, because I was planning on going this way anyway. When I move here... No, I don't know. What if I just go here? I'm not sure. Maybe I should have tried to trap it in the other corner where the bishop couldn't get there so easily. Or should I just continue with my plan of coming around this way? If I can get my king right there, then I might have a mate something here, maybe. Let's see. The king's going to go there, I assume. No. Okay. Now I'm going to go here, and the king won't be able to move at all except to there, and that would be checkmate. So I assume it would move its bishop at that point. Okay. That's checkmate, is it not? No, because then the king goes there, and then that's checkmate. Okay. We did it. All right. So the book wasn't entirely true. It says I guess it is true, but it starts off with you treat this the same way as you would just the queen versus king checkmate. But with the exception that you have to watch out for the bishop. But that's a big exception. You saw the bishop kept getting in the way. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. It was helpful to me. And next we're going to try to tackle the queen versus knight checkmate and see how that goes.